Welcome back to the Pulse. This afternoon, there's a push for a legislative instrument to operationalize the law which legalizes cannabis. Hempire Ghana is leading this advocacy, and today they held a news conference to raise concerns about the delay in the introduction of the legislative instrument. Nana Kwekwajiman is CEO of Hempire, okay, and he joins me in the studio. Nana, good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you as well.
Well, this conversation about legalizing cannabis, marijuana has been back and forth in this country. Why are you bringing it up again at this particular time?
Well, we just want to knock on government's door because at the end of this week, they'll go into recess.
Okay.
And so we just want to knock on their door and remind them that, look, this is the 20th month since the law has actually been passed, because the law was passed March 2020. And so far to date, it's taken 20 months to get absolutely nowhere, because we should have had this legislation passed a long time ago.
Okay, so there's a bill in Parliament.
No, it's not a bill. It's already been passed.
It's been passed.
It's the LI, as you described.
Okay, the LI for its implementation.
That's right.
Okay, that is delayed.
It shouldn't take 20 months. Malawi passed the law in February of the same year, and by August, they'd also passed their LI. And now they're cultivating. And as we all know, Mike Tyson is now going to be the ambassador for cannabis production in Mali and Malawi. And Malawi expect to attract so many different kinds of investors, because it's not just about the cultivation, it's also about adding value, because that's really where the money is. And Ghana, we're so blessed, we're on the equator, our climate and everything is fine, even though we have seen some adjustments because of climate change, we're still okay. We can cultivate 3 times a year, while other countries are doing twice, and some are even doing once. And in the USA, where in many states they're doing 1 time a year harvest, they're still making 20 and 30 billion US dollars from it. So, you know, there's so much to be gained in terms of economic benefit and environmentally too. We've been complaining about the water bodies that have been poisoned. We've been complaining about the land that people used to source gold from being contaminated. And when you cultivate hemp on those lands, and when you cultivate hemp in those water bodies, the hemp will clean those water bodies and clean those lands up to the point that you can reclaim those lands and start vegetation there again, and to the point where you can now drink that water once again. So there's huge benefits economically, environmentally, and of course medicinally, that too. I mean, it just goes way beyond, and we can't understand why, you know, highly educated people in our parliament are taking 20 months to pass a legislation which Hag even contributed 99% to and had it pushed along the line for them to approve. There's nothing in it. It's a no-brainer.
Okay. So how much of importance is this operationalization of the law, and how urgent is it as you describe?
It's very urgent, and the reason why it's very urgent is because we have a lot of farmers out there who are cultivating illegally. They are eagerly awaiting to make that transition from illegality to legality. And so it's urgent, because even though we say, yes, it's against the law, and I totally understand that, and I stand by that, the people who I've gone to see who have been cultivating marijuana for generations can't just throw that aside, because they have family commitments just like anybody else. Now, all we need to see happen is the process for this LI to be, you know, whistle-stopped, if you like, so that we can, you know, it's going to help us to stop illegal cannabis cultivation. And that's what the authorities don't understand, because you see, with the advent of hemp, anyone who cultivates marijuana within 50-mile radius will see their crop pollinated by the hemp that is being growing. So their crop won't be any good. So this in itself will stop people from cultivating marijuana and encouraged them to just cultivate industrial hemp. So there's so many angles, there's so many, the dynamics of it, there's so many, but it's as if the people just cannot see.
So, I mean, mostly the conversation has been about the moral rights and also what the negative aspect of what, I mean, smoking it, for instance, would cause you. But you talk about medicinal benefits, you talk about cosmetic benefits and other benefits. What are these benefits that the country must actually avert its mind to?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, with industrial hemp, the discussion about smoking and all that just doesn't come in, because this isn't something that someone smokes.
Okay.
This is used for strictly industrial purposes and strictly for medicinal purposes.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of talk about climate change. But if we started to construct our buildings out of hempcrete, we will see that the hempcrete would absorb the carbon dioxide, even in our little part of the world, and that would have a significant change when it comes to the issues of climate change.
Okay.
The clothes you're wearing can be made out of hemp, the building we're in, the table we're sitting at, everything plastic, because just imagine, every year we have a major catastrophe. It's like Christmas. When the rainy season comes, we know there's going to be floods, and some people, unfortunately, are going to die. Now, everything can be made, everything plastic can be made out of hemp, industrial hemp, and it's biodegradable. So you're looking at between 40 and 50 days that it would simply biodegrade, whereas the plastics that we're using now can go 100 years without any degrading at all. So that's even good for us as well, you see? So there's so many different benefits. You're looking at the cotton industry. You can now produce cotton and mix it with hemp.
Okay.
Yes, because it produces what they call it a bast fiber.
Okay.
Yeah. Now it's not that stretchable and all that kind of stuff, but you can add other fibers in there to make it how you want it to be. It's a mass market when it comes to, you know, fabrics, etc.
Okay.
You know, curtains, floor coverings. It's there. Insulation. It's there. There's so many things. Children have autism. Children have epilepsy. Right now we're feeding them, we're overdosing them on opioids when what they need is cannabis.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
And
really.
cannabis can cure epilepsy?
Of course. It's not can, it does.
It does?
It does.
There's a research to this effect?
Oh, absolutely. It reverses the seizures.
Wow.
And then eventually brings them to a halt. Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about an amount of, what, $30 million that those who cultivate this could provide for government in, like, say, 5 months?
Well, what I'm saying to you is this, and what I'm saying to government is this. Let's get the licenses out. We're ready to apply for our license. Give us a license.
Okay.
And you, government, you give us 2,000 acres of arable land you have in one place.
Okay.
Be an absentee farmer.
Okay.
So as an absentee farmer, we will cultivate 2,000 acres, or up to 2,000 acres of industrial hemp. And when we harvest, packed and export, we will give government $30 million US every single time we harvest. And we harvest 3 times for the year. It's actually 14 months, but we say 3 times for the year. That's 90 million going to government for free. 2,000 acres.
Okay.
Our word is our bond. We stand tall to that.
Okay.
You wouldn't be fussing and fighting in Parliament about e-levy and this and that and all that kind of stuff, because as an absentee farmer, government, as an absentee farmer, can turn 30 million like every 5 months.
Okay.
For the rest of
$1 million. $1
million, US $1 million.
Okay. Wow. And what kind of engagement have you had with Parliament in terms of why the LI has not been passed so that this can be operationalized?
Well, I mean, they just give so many different reasons, don't
What
they? I mean, they say, don't worry, we'll deal with it. Yes, we've got your back, blah, blah, blah. But you can see they easily get diverted with so many different things. The partisanship within the August House is such that, you know, people have got their children going to school under trees, you know, women are giving birth, you know, and lying down on the floor in the maternity ward, you know, schools are collapsing and killing children, innocent children, you know, and what are they doing in Parliament? We have something here, we have a great opportunity, right, because this is an industrial revolution. That is what this is. That's what it can be. It's an industrial revolution. And when it kicks off in Ghana, they'll be surprised to see that Ghana is the leader in all of this, despite what Malawi have done, despite what Zimbabwe have done, Zambia have done, because of the framework, because of the infrastructure we have created, they will see that Ghana is a leader in this. Because you are talking to me as Hempire Agri Ghana, but I can tell you that we have the Hempire Association of Malawi, of Ethiopia, of Kenya, of Nigeria, Liberia, Zambia, Mozambique, Botswana, South Africa. So we are not just focused in Ghana. It's our primary cause, no doubt, because we are Ghanaians. But we want to come up with, we want to conjure a standard, right? So that anybody who comes for hemp, wherever you are coming from, it's going to be one price. You ain't going to sell out Botswana with Ghana. We're not going to undercut anybody, and no one should undercut us, because the whole thing's going to be a standard, like OPEC. You see how the Arabs have done it?
Yeah.
That's how we've got to do it.
Do you have plans of meeting the legislature, I mean members of parliament,
Of course.
so that you can explain to them why they should fast track the LI?
A committee is working on that now. And I'm so grateful to report to the public that at today's press conference, we were honored to have the presence of the Deputy Director General, Mr. Michael Addo, from the Narcotics Control Commission. And we were very grateful for his contribution because, you know, wannabe farmers want to hear from the Narcotic Control Commission. What are you doing? What's the problem? And he came and he said, look, the problem isn't with us because we've done our work. We've given it to the AG. We've given it to the Ministry of Interior and Defence. The problem lies over there because we are ready. You know, and for us, that's a green light. Okay.
When do you intend to meet them?
Well, that would be telling, wouldn't it, Aisha?
All right.
So we won't say, but it's definitely going to happen. And we want to ensure our farmers that, look, this is going to happen within the next quarter of next year, inshallah.
Inshallah. So it's definitely must happen, and something we'll be monitoring. And Nana Ajiman is CEO of Hempire Agri Ghana. I'm grateful for your time this afternoon.